Figured out that we are like a Disney stan podcast.
Oh, we for sure are. I know.
I feel like every episode recently I'm editing and it's like Disney this, and we can't help ourselves. So here we are.
We can't help ourselves, and there are so many Disney haters, and they're like,
ugh. I know.
Shut up.
It's tough because I think in some ways, especially more recently, Disney can feel a little polarizing. Sure. And I do get that. I
do.
But
sure.
As we were just discussing, the nostalgia of it has a grip on many of us.
It sure does. And I have no Disney nostalgia, which is the funniest part.
Yeah, but you just witnessed the magic.
I did witness the magic as an adult. Y'all all heard the story. I mean, come on, the goggles. Didn't it?
Goggles.
Did that make anybody else weep?
Oh, my gosh. So
come on.
And your impression of Lily as a child is really cute.
Thank you. Well, we gave our kids all these L's in their names. We have Isabella Miller and Lillian Miller, and neither of our girls could say L's. So it was so cute to hear them be like, my name is Isabella Miller, and Yigi Miller is my sister.
Oh, my God.
People are like, I'm so sorry. Come again? What?
That's something to think about when you're naming your kid, I guess.
Yeah. And what's also funny about it is, so that was kind of the thing that linked them, right? It's double L's.
Yeah.
It was already in their last name. Let's do double L's in their first name. And Bella's boyfriend's last name has double L's. And it's not Miller.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. And it's a word that is not spelled with two L's ever.
So if she keeps her maiden name as her middle, it's going to be L on L on L.
It'll be Isabella, Isabella Miller April.
Oh, my.
So all these R's and L's. All these are now, y'all. She can finally say her R's and L's.
Yes, she's good.
She does have a lisp, so she has a slight speech impediment still, but it's getting better and better and better.
I feel like
you can barely notice it.
Yeah, you can barely notice it, and I think some of that, and I may have told you this, is like it's dental related. Yes. A lot of people think like it's just that's how they're born, and they need to do the speech therapy, and a lot of times they do. Yeah. But I read or heard from somebody that it can be, no, it's just as their teeth are still growing and shifting, and then their tongue kind of gets used to it.
It could be dental, so it's been proven it's not, and I didn't get them speech therapy.
Yeah.
So, because I'm a good parent. File that under follow me for more parenting tips, along with Lily's eye being a college trick, a party trick.
I feel like you're a good mom for their internal needs.
Yes, but the external
needs. Figure it out, Lily and Bella.
Spray some Windex on it.
Yeah, spray some Windex, but that's what makes you tough.
Yeah, that is. They are. They're they're tougher in some ways.
They
are. In other ways, I'm like, oh my God, come on.
Yeah, but that's just.
I think it's just kids these days.
Kids these days. It's this generation coming up.
Yeah.
Speaking of tough, we have had a tough time. Coming into this room today.
It took an act of God to get us here because it took acts of gods to ruin our homes.
Our homes.
Acts of God. Singular God.
Not multiple gods.
No, there are no other gods.
No other gods.
You guys, I've always said that.
Like you always say, no other gods. Not in this girl's life. No. But acts of God to ruin our homes. I walked in here and I said to her, home ownership is fun, isn't it?
So fun.
Because we had both been texting about things happening. Mm-hmm. Now, I'll start because I do feel like your situation is more severe. But what's crazy is I didn't realize what had happened until it was maybe 8:30, and I'm like, come on, kids, let's go upstairs and get ready for bed. And we walk upstairs
and it hits you in the face.
The heat.
Yeah.
A wall of heat at the top of the stairs. And I said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So I went and looked at the thermostat. It's blank.
Oh.
It's not even blinking. It's
not even reading 85. It's just gone.
It's just gone.
Okay.
Which makes us think even more so it's electrical.
Sure.
So upstairs AC went out. Y'all, we had crazy storms. If you're in Charlotte, you remember crazy storms on May 8th, to be exact. Mm-hmm. And I think it just knocked out one of our units. Yeah. And so I'm in the middle of trying to get this fixed.
Yeah. And nothing worse than like the air going out in summer.
Summertime.
For us, it's hot in May in Charlotte.
It's hot. Now thankfully, it's cloudy. We're still having rain. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a yucky day out. So hopefully,
do you have screens on your windows?
Some of them I took
Yeah.
off because they were so gross.
Yeah.
So
I remember you
gross.
saying that, and we don't have screens on our windows because I forgot to build it.
To order them.
I forgot to order them in the building process, and at that point, we had maxed out
Your budget.
our budget. And I said, okay, well, I guess we're just not having screens, and we'll never open these windows.
I know. I got to figure
just
out
bugs.
which ones still have screens and probably open it up. But it's fine.
Because it was cool last night. Thank God. It was like in the 60s.
I know.
So if you were able to at least get like a cross draft. But did you sleep downstairs in the basement room?
I didn't. I just
Oh.
slept upstairs. I had my fan on full blast. All the
Okay.
kids had fans, and we just said, we'll figure it out. Y'all, Matt was out of town.
Yeah.
I had to be a strong, independent woman,
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child,
Yeah.
and figure this
That
out.
must be why I guessed it, because I knew in the future
You knew.
that we were going to have to be independent women.
I know.
Joshua is still here, but he is very swallowed up with a million things. So what had happened is during yesterday's storm, none of us were home for it. We were at Lily, Bella, and I were at the mall. Joshua was at work, and he gets home first, and he FaceTimes. And he's like, put your mother on the phone, because Lily was holding my phone at the time.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm. Put your mother on the phone. And he's like, we have branches javelined into our roof. Like, that's the best way to describe it.
It is, y'all. I cannot wait to share this photo.
It's as if y'all know javelin, like at the Olympics, and they just throw and they go in on an angle
Yes.
into the ground.
Yes.
It looks like that on our roof. Just branches just
It's like the branches are toothpicks
Yeah.
that someone just plopped into your roof.
yeah, but still has like all the greenery about
Yeah.
it. So it just looks like trees are growing out of our
Yes,
roof.
but the photo is very strange because the one she sent, there's no really like debris around
No.
it. Like the roof is not shattered. It's just like that javelin just straight into the roof. And I said it almost looks photoshopped. It's crazy.
It almost does look photoshopped. I can assure you it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there were 3 of those. Joshua was able to pull out some, and then you just see a hole going all the way through.
Ugh.
Now the one I sent y'all couldn't even come out. Like
I
it
believe
was
it.
so stuck in there.
It was thick.
And he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like ruin.
Yeah,
even
actually
more.
make
It's
it
almost,
worse.
It's almost like keeping it there. Less water will get in than just
Yes.
a gaping hole.
It's like that Grey's Anatomy episode where the people were impaled. And
I've never seen a single second of Grey's Anatomy.
I only watched like maybe the first or second season, but it was like they were impaled and they said, when we take this out,
Yeah.
y'all are going to die.
Yeah, it's because it's stopping up the blood. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of
It's-
clotting
it's
it
like-
in a way.
Yeah, it's like holding their organs in place.
like
and
a
it's
plug.
Get ready to die.
If we pull it out,
Yes, that's
You
your roof.
ooh, that is my roof. That is my roof. Also, let me say something. Another reason why I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy, well, I just didn't watch it, period, because then it felt too committal.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's so many episodes,
So many seasons.
But unfortunately, going back to Bella's name, when I was pregnant with her and we decided Isabella was going to be her name, not Violet, people would be like, oh, are you going to nickname her Izzy? And I did not know why so many people were asking me this
Oh.
because I had never even thought of Izzy being a nickname for Isabella.
No.
I've always thought of Bella.
Yeah, same.
Or Ella, right?
Yeah.
But like, or even Issa
Yeah.
is more than Izzy. And all these people would ask me. Finally, I'm like, why do people keep asking me this?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, because the Grey's Anatomy.
That's why.
I said, I rebuke it.
I
Then
rebuke.
I won't watch it. And
Yeah, because you don't want people to think that that's why.
no, I didn't. It was just a beautiful, timeless name that
Well,
meant beautiful.
I named Tinsley, having no clue about Tinsley Mortimer. I did not know who Tinsley Mortimer was in 2009, 2010.
No.
I did not know that.
No, and then
Here she comes along on Real Housewives of
You got it.
Real Housewives of New York, and
It chokes me up too, thinking about it.
it brings a tear to my eye. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't want people to think I named my child after a New York socialite.
Yeah, a New York socialite who's been to jail.
That bothers me.
Yeah, with a mugshot and everything. We know you didn't. We know who came first.
Yeah, we know that.
We know who came first, and it was Kristen.
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh, I always do.
Yeah, I know you do. You will update us on ACOTAR in a second. Okay, so anyway, we have all these holes in our roof. We have all this damage, and the water is not it's not coming through into our ceiling yet and dripping down into our home.
Correct.
but it's close. We have
sagging.
the as my dad likes to call the fart fan.
The fart fan.
In the bathroom, in the powder room right now, the fart fan is not flush with the ceiling anymore. It has been like kind of popped down, and we think it's bulging from water either behind there, or there was so many like claps of lightning and thunder and booming, and we're just like, is our house physically like getting hit right now is what it felt like. Just like the javelin sticks, the bulges, the drips are about to start to happen.
Thor's hammer is literally coming down on you.
It is. And we, so I've been on the phone with ServPro, roofing companies, the insurance to file the claim, another roofing company, a contractor to come tarp the roof. You know, it's just one thing after another. Find out our dedeductible is $2,000.
This is not the year.
So now we have to pay $2,000.
This is not the year for that.
It's not. It's hemorrhaging. It's hemorrhaging money. The money.
Oh my
gosh. So we're feeling it.
You're feeling it.
We're feeling it. And
this is why homeownership. I know everybody's talking about people want to buy homes and they want to have equity and blah blah. And I get that, but as she said, they didn't have these problems when they were living in their condo.
Nope. We in the condo, it was amazing. I would be like, oh, our microwave, the beeping is sounding a little off. Call the people.
Yeah, call the guy that owns it. He's got to come take care of it. The landlords are the ones that have to do it.
It's amazing. It's an amazing, carefree way to live. We loved condo living. Joshua didn't have to do yard work every weekend.
Yes.
You know, if something broke, you had a repair person right away.
Yes.
We had a concierge. We had a pool. We had
everything.
I really love that condo.
With the homeownership, you just never know. It could be a storm, or it could be just a random thing, as your fridge went out the other week, right?
Yep. So we've already spent $1,500 on that, plus all the food that we had to throw out. And y'all know the food costs are insane.
Yes.
I do want to talk a little bit about that.
Let's talk about it.
I want to know, and I think that this is an appropriate question for our girl Dana too, is I understand the raising of the prices during COVID, right? That things were hard to come in, and so they jacked up the prices and all that sort of stuff. And actually Wegmans had, and we don't even have one here, so it's not a competitor or anything, but Wegmans has put out a commercial recently like, we are rolling back prices to pre-pandemic levels on many of our products because we have now, things have stabilized and we can now offer that to our loyal customers. And so I'm just wondering.
I freaking love that.
I know. I do too. And you know what? We don't have one here.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, if you are someone who is listening where there is a Wegmans.
Yes.
Have you noticed that? Is that true, or is that just something they're saying on a commercial?
Tell us. We want to know.
And also, would other grocers follow suit?
Maybe.
Because I do need to know, so this got me digging. After I heard this commercial, I was like, that's very lovely to do.
Yes.
Because you could just continue to price gouge.
Yes.
And what are we going to do? Stop eating? No, not an option. So I went and looked up profits.
Yes.
For the main grocers.
Over like the past 5 years?
Over the past 4 years, to be specific, since
Okay.
the pandemic started, their profits have gone up every year. So they're not coming down. So they're fine. They're actually going up, not even staying the same.
Yeah,
We're talking,
the profits are increasing year after year.
correct. And so at some point, will the prices be rolled back? And I'm not saying you can't make a profit. Businesses are here to make a profit.
Sure.
I understand that. But record profits?
While people are bleeding out.
While we are bleeding out, my roof, to be specific, is leaking out. My refrigerator is melting out. And me, I think I'm
You are melting. The
away.
fat has melted away.
I guess so.
Think about it.
It's good that I don't eat as much because these prices.
You're eating less. You're saving money.
Truly could not have happened at a better time.
It's true.
Could not have happened at a better time. Thank you so much, the Aesthetic Concierge, for partnering with me, because I have never needed to eat less in my life with these prices. So this timed out for once. Really great timing in my life.
Oh God, that's funny.
I just am wondering, is there going to be a thing? Are we going to hold them accountable as consumers and say, you know, hey, could we roll it back just a little bit? Does cereal still need to be $7.50 to $8 a box?
I mean, the meat
for Raisin Nut Brand. This isn't a large box of cereal.
No, the meat alone is what it is for me. I'm like, I am getting a small pack of chicken tenders. Why is this $14.50?
I know.
For the small pack of chicken tenders. I don't
Crazy.
understand.
And we're supposed to be eating more protein.
I know.
And they're screwing us
They're
on
screwing
the meat
us over.
prices.
So what I wonder is,
Yeah.
okay, so wherever Wegmans is,
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe what can happen, and
I
we
think
can
it's in
hope.
the Northeast. I think Wegmans is like a DC thing.
Okay.
Like that Maryland, DC, maybe somewhere up there.
So maybe we watch and we see, okay, if they do this, then whoever's around them, other competitors that are local to them, are they then forced to drop? And then does it just almost spread from there?
True. Because if there were to be, say, a Kroger by a Wegmans, then Kroger's, they're not here yet, are they?
I think there's some in South Carolina. I want to say
maybe.
there's one near the beach.
I'm just curious because I know, when we started talking about just the cost of living a couple months ago, we got really good reactions from people saying, yeah, I feel like I'm noticing it, but no one's talking about it.
Yes.
No, everyone's. I think people say the big blanket term of like the economy.
Yeah.
But to be more specific, it is the everyday cost.
It's the everyday
It's
cost.
the everyday
it's the
cost.
gas.
But
It's the groceries.
food is brutal. There was a recent study that said a family of 4 in North Carolina is spending almost $1,200 a month on food, on groceries. I'm not talking about eating out.
Yeah.
On groceries.
I believe it.
Easily.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But that's a record high. We have not seen that since, what did they say? They said, I want, like the some crisis in the 70s, and we weren't alive for it, so I can't remember. But we have not been spending this much in a very, very long time, and I'm just wondering, when is that going to be rolled back? Can it be? If we're reporting record profits, that's telling me we can roll it back a little bit. Can we pull back? And are you going to be the grocer that does that? That says, you know what? I saw Wegmans do it. Now I'm going to do it.
Yes. I mean, Harris Teeter, I'm just saying, Dana, if you just want to play this little clip for the higher ups, because I know she's not making these decisions. No. Maybe if you want to just pass this along.
Like what I want to know, are they seeing them say that? And then what is the response to that? And I would say that you would be heralded in this community.
Yes.
If you were to say something similar to that, man, what a campaign. And we will talk about it till the cows come home.
I know that.
The cows that we need to slaughter and get meat from.
For the protein. Speaking of protein and Harris Teeter, I know y'all are sick of us talking about this daggum crab. The crab with a K, the crab with a C. We don't know. But
I almost posted the video this morning.
Here's what's going on. Y'all know I gave you the update that Ashley said, no, it's snow crab legs. I'm looking at it myself. I'm holding the package. Well, she runs out immediately. She's like, great. She's hustling to the
I'm so excited. I love those
to the fresh foods, and she's gonna get her pack of crab. Yeah. Well, she sends me a video, shows me the back, and it's like, I'm so confused. What's going on here? Because on the ingredient list, it says what?
That it's like the fake fish.
It's fake. It's fish.
It's what your mom said.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't halibut. It said something, pollock.
Yeah, it was
right?
pollock.
Was it pollock?
With spices and different things to give it the crab flavor.
Up above it says, and it's cleverly covered by like a sticker. Above it says snow crab legs, but like then you look right below it at the ingredients and it's like pollock fish, white fish with seasoning or whatever. And so I'm like, oh, here are the ingredients. And I was so excited to flip it over and see. And I was like, no, these aren't the ingredients.
We need to know once and for all. Now, I said, is it possible there's two different things happening here? Maybe Harris Teeter is like, here's the deluxe. Maybe. Now, Ashley did not specify when she said this to me the price.
Okay.
She just said, hey, I found this. Maybe that price was higher.
Maybe.
But I need somebody to get in the Harris Teeter.
We need Andy and a camera stat. Please, somebody let us know.
Looking in the back end of things. I don't think we can trust the cold cases anymore because depending on which Harris Teeter we're in, things are looking different. Are we in a highfalutin
I'm just saying, for $5, you cannot get 6 to 7 full legs of crab.
Yes.
You can't.
Well, and
it's not possible.
Before Ashley had sent me this, I had gone to Costco and saw kind of a little plastic container of legit crab meat.
And how much was
And
it?
I think it was like $25.
I told you, like, those tiny little things are.
And I think I'd even taken a video, but I forgot to post it.
Yeah.
And so then when Ashley sent that, I thought, well, somehow Harris Teeter's pulling this off. No. I don't know, but now I feel like I don't know anything.
I think that she might have seen where it said snow crab legs up above,
right?
But then it's looking at the exact ingredients under there, and there were 17 ingredients.
Yeah, pollock,
and it was
spices.
None of it said crab with a C. It didn't say crab with a K either. But it did not say crab.
Okay, so we'll do a little more digging. I just don't want to be a place where we're
absolutely not misinformation.
Misinformation.
No, you can miss us with the misinformation.
Everything here is alleged, and I stand on that forever and ever. But we are trying to bring you the real when we can.
Yes, of course we can. When we are actually talking about something that you put in your body.
Yes.
So that's the final. That's not the final update. That's not. It's like talking about crab with a K is like my IUD at this point. My dad on my mom's birthday is like, yeah, we know about your IUD. We're good.
He's so sick of hearing about it. I wonder if all the men are. I mean, none of the other men have said anything.
Jeff Van Gosbeck hasn't said one thing about my IUD.
And I feel like Clint, as a doctor,
he doesn't care.
He's used to this.
Yeah.
Morning, noon, and night.
Yeah,
he's talking about it.
I mean, I don't know how much Clint in the ER is dealing with IUD stuff, but maybe.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great question for him.
He's a family practice doctor.
Okay.
So surely some of that's coming across his stoop.
Something. I would let's ask him and let's actually do a guess. I think if we were to poll him, I would say in a year, how often is he having to talk to a patient about IUDs or deal with a fallout from one? So anything IUD related. And I'm going to guess less than 10.
I'm going to guess
in a year.
A dozen. I'm giving it one a month.
Okay.
One a month.
All right. Well, I guess we will see. That's tight. That's close.
Woo!
Tight.
You heard it here, folks. Okay. So, but we started to talk about this and you said, shut up. Let's talk about it on the mic. Last night's extra storm that came through. So, we had the storm, javelins in the roof, AC is out, right?
Yep.
We all go to bed and we're thinking, okay, tomorrow's a new day. We'll get it sorted out. Well, what happens at 3 a.m.?
Another storm comes through and it is the loudest thunder and claps of lightning.
Yeah.
I think I've ever heard.
Same. And my kids said the same thing.
It was rattling.
It was shaking my bones.
Yes.
It was shaking my teeth.
Jarring.
It was shaking her IUD.
Yeah.
I swear it.
I might need to go for another follow-up and see if it's still in place. Dr. Moran.
I was unwell because I already wasn't sleeping great because it was hot.
Yes.
And so I knew I'd be tossing and turning anyway, and I really got in my head about that, right?
Same.
And I'm sure you were in your head because you're thinking, is my roof leaking?
Yep.
Right?
100%. I was like, is the tree going to fall?
Yes.
The roof is leaking. We have a dead tree from the lightning storm from before. I was praying to God, please don't let it fall on my parents' house tonight. Please don't they're out of town. No one will get hurt.
Okay.
But please don't let it fall. It will really ruin their time in Georgia with my brother and his family. That's what I kept saying in my head. Please, God, don't.
Well, your prayers worked. Thank goodness.
It stood. Another one. How many more of those do we have? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have much left in us. That's what I can say. But these claps of thunder were truly shocking.
Crazy.
And jarred me awake. And then I thought, is one of my kids going to come running?
Yep.
So then I was kind of
waiting,
willing myself to stay, trying to stay awake to see who comes in. Nobody came.
No.
It was a big fat mess of a night.
Yep, it was.
And my kids, they did say in the morning that they were a little afraid, but they persevered.
I'm glad.
They're warriors.
I'm really glad that they did. If Matt were home, they would have absolutely been in that room.
That's true. They're probably like, we do not visit mom in the night.
It's because they knew Matt was not there. And so they said, no one's coming for us.
Not our mother.
No one's coming to rescue us. And if we go in there, daddy's not there to breastfeed me. So might as well not even go.
They said daddy's bed is empty.
Daddy's bed is empty. The tomb is, he is risen. He is risen indeed. So we didn't say that once after the Easter podcast.
We didn't.
But that doesn't shock me one bit because they all knew he was not in there.
Okay, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
And it literally was on my list. And then when I was thinking about this storm and like, were my kids scared? I want to know, this is a two-parter.
Okay.
Does anything really scare you
No.
now as an adult?
Nothing.
Okay, let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt that your answer would be no.
No.
Nothing really scares you. Now, I think we can take off the table, like, sure, something happening to our loved ones.
Yeah.
Yes, that's like a fear we all kind of have inside. But I know you don't have anxiety about it, right?
Yeah, I never think about it.
But of
I
course,
never
none
think
of us want anything to happen to the people we love.
Right, but I think that people hyper fixate on stuff like that, and,
Yeah.
and it just drives more and more and more anxiety. I just never think about it.
Yeah.
I never think about someone dying. I mean, I'll say, oh, well, this person's very sick. Obviously, it could happen.
Sure.
But I am not going to get on a loop in my head about something happening to my children. I'm not going to. As fast as it would float through, it would float right back out.
Do you think about yourself dying?
No.
Oh, I think about every single day.
The only thing I think about when it comes to my death
Yeah.
is I'm curious who will show up for my funeral.
And we've talked
about that.
I mean, I don't know if we've talked about it on here, but
maybe not.
You and I have talked about this.
Yes,
And I said, hand on a Bible, I will make sure that sanctuary is packed.
Thank you so much. And I know you will, but if you go first,
Ooh, that I
if
can't.
you go first, then there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantees.
Yours will be packed.
I don't know. I
People
think
love and adore you and show up for you.
I don't know. I mean, I
Kristen, people show up for you.
They do, but I have my core people. I think you would have many more masses of people who feel they've been touched by you in some way.
I don't.
That's who's showing up for your funeral.
Maybe, but I don't know. I really don't know. I think that there's a lot of people who like access to me. There's a lot of people who want
something from you.
Who want something from me, or what can I do for them? But to show up for me, I don't know. I really, truly do not know. I feel like I can list some people I know absolutely will be there.
Yes.
But then there's a lot of question marks over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
A lot.
And that's disappointing.
It is disappointing. It is disappointing.
But I really feel that the Miranda and Charlotte community, the people, I mean, even just through like the ministries that you help and the nonprofits and all of the things, those are the people with good hearts who are going to show up for you.
Yeah. I think
you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think that you're right about that. I do think that you're right about that. That I won't be shocked by those people who would show up, but yeah, there's just some big question marks there.
Some questionable folks.
There's some question marks there. It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I do a lot of things, and obviously death can't even be compared to it, but a lot of things in public, a lot of things I host, a lot of things that I'm at.
Oh yeah.
And I say, please show up. I would love to see the support or whatever. And it's sometimes crickets,
It's
you
crickets
know, and
sometimes. This is y'all not showing up for this girl.
just empty places, and that can sting a little bit sometimes. So I do wonder, like, if you can't even show up for 5 minutes somewhere to look supportive, are you really coming to a hard thing? A lot of people view funerals as very hard things for them to personally do.
Well, that's true.
To go to, and I understand some of that. I understand some
I
people
do get that somewhat,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you're showing up. This is my opinion. You're showing up to the funeral to show support for the family, for the loved ones that are left behind and are struggling. And guess what? That sanctuary should be packed so that they see the love and they see the support.
Yeah, I've been going.
Put your own stuff aside.
Yeah. I've been going to.
Oh yes.
So obviously, I went. So for those who don't know, some people listening aren't local.
Yeah.
But we had 4 members of law enforcement be gunned down by a psychopath, a criminal, and a very bad person last Monday. This won't make sense, obviously, because dates are weird when we record and they come out and things like that. But just know in the last 2 weeks, there were some people serving a warrant to a home of a criminal, and he opened fire on them. He killed 4 people very quickly, and there are 5 more who are injured. And some are very, very, very bad injuries. Yeah. And so, just being a small community, Charlotte, when you are natives, is very small.
Yes, very tight knit.
You are touched by someone somehow, some way.
Yes.
I mean, one of the guys who passed, his sister works at my dental office. Like, just peripherally, you're kind of touched and connected to people. One of the guys who's injured is very dear friends with one of our dear friends.
Yeah.
And then one of the CMPD officers who died, I didn't know him personally, but I have 2 family members who are cops here. So
That's right. So they knew him.
yeah, you just know everybody, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's not even the reason why I've decided to go to all the funerals. I've decided to go to all of the funerals because I want their family to see people showing up.
That's it.
Because especially in the last few years, the way that our law enforcement has been lambasted,
Villainized.
villainized. And I understand that not all cops are perfect. I'm not
No.
saying that. There are bad eggs in every single career that there is.
That's right.
We will say that till the end of the days.
Yes.
But the fact of the matter is still this. Whether you decided that you hate cops, or if you decided to defund them, or if you've decided to say anything negative about them, or you have hurled stuff at them in riots, if you called 911 because you were in an emergency, they would still run to you because they don't know any of that about you.
That's right.
They don't know that you said those things about them. They don't know that you lumped them into this big bad wolf category.
Yeah.
They don't know any of that.
Yeah.
They just know that a call has been made and they are going to run to it.
Yeah.
Just like these guys did on that day on April 29th. And so what a privilege it is to get to say whatever you want to say about an entire group of people, and yet they still would lay down their life for you if you called them. If you said, I'm in an emergency, I need the cops right now. I'm in a car accident. I need someone to come save me from the side of the road. Whatever it is, they show up for that.
That's right.
Your house is on fire. A cop is coming.
Yeah.
Your grandmother fell. A cop is coming. People are coming to help you, no matter what you did or said. And so, especially in the last few years, I think it's been terrible. And I wanted them to make sure that they saw people showing up and saying, I back the blue.
Yes.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. And again, not all of them are perfect. I don't back every member of the blue.
No.
I don't back every grocer.
But
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't back every influencer. I mean, every occupation has people who are doing the absolute worst at their jobs.
Yes.
They are doing horrible things. They are being conniving and underhanded, and they are cheating the system, and they are hurting people because they have the power to do so. We see it in Hollywood.
Yes.
We see it in law enforcement. We see it in the military. We see it in churches. We see it in schools. We see it everywhere. But it doesn't negate all of the good either.
Yes.
And the fact of the matter stands, if you needed them, they'd come running.
Yes. And how many lives that they have saved. And we can't just dismiss that
because
and do the blanket statement.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Somebody made a mistake or somebody did something wrong or whatever.
Right. So I've been going.
Do you feel like those funerals that you've been to were full and representative of people showing up?
Absolutely. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's been beautiful to see and amazing. And I know that the families felt it. I mean, the church was standing room only. I was there with the Independence Fund. So we had a row because the Independence Fund works so closely with law enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
The military, law enforcement, veterans.
Yes.
All of that kind of is under
and so
an
supporting the families that have family members in those positions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Many people go from the military into law enforcement too, and vice versa. So, so I was there with them. So I was able to be inside the church. It was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, his wife got up to speak. Their 3-year-old son was there. It was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever sat through. And then I went to the one for Tommy this week, and that was at Bojangles Coliseum.
Oh my gosh,
and
what?
I would say there were probably 1,300 people there.
Wow.
There were, he was a U.S. Marshal, and the U.S. Marshal agencies from all over came. This is what I say, look for the beauty, right?
Yes.
Look for the helpers, look for the beauty. There was a New Jersey precinct that came down, and they set up their food truck, and they fed every person there.
Ah,
I know. Amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
They gave little bags as you walked out of the service. They gave little bags that said, here, in case you're hungry or thirsty on your drive home, because so many people came from so far.
Drove from all over.
So there was Coke, water, fruit, snacks, chips, everything. And Hannah just said, thank you so much for being here.
That is good people right there.
It was incredible to see because they're so tight-knit. These are communities that are so tight-knit. And when one falls, these are brothers, right?
Yeah.
When one falls, they all feel like they did.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. And then tonight I have another one to attend. And then there will still be one more on Monday. So I'm
Oh my
going,
goodness.
I'm showing up, I'm trying to show people that there is the support for them in the community. It's just really important. I mean, what Sarah Verado, our dear friend Sarah Verado says is like, don't worry. Well, should I be there? I didn't even know them.
Yeah.
It's not about that. That's not just the reason why you go to funerals.
Yeah.
You just go so that they see the body there, so that the
Yes.
person who is feeling like, was this death in vain?
Yes.
Can look around and go, it was not.
It was not in
It was
vain.
not.
And to know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I think that you lose
yeah.
someone so close to you and you feel lonely.
Yes.
You feel isolated. And to
Yeah.
look around and say, no, there are hundreds and thousands of people lifting me up,
Yes.
supporting me.
Yep.
I think about, long ago, let's say tribes or villages. If a member of that community were to pass away, everyone is going to show up.
Everyone stops.
They really viewed death in a lot of these cultures as like a passing into the next realm or however they saw it. And it was a celebration of life. And it was important for everyone to be there and to be raised to know, like, this is how we support this widow or these children or whatever.
Well, it just all goes back to the village mentality,
Yeah.
and it takes a village in life and in death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's been beautiful. It's been heartbreaking. I mean, Glennon Doyle kind of coined the term brutal.
Brutal.
And it's the only way to describe this because it is so brutal because this is senseless. This should never have happened. I mean, they were serving a warrant because they thought that the person had guns.
Yeah,
He
and was a danger to society.
And it was a danger to society, and he was.
He was.
And I don't think anyone expected to arrive there and just it be a massacre.
No.
A massacre. I mean, the house afterwards looked like a bomb happened to it. Like, it was crazy. And so it just caught everybody, I think, so much off guard. And to have 9 people either dead or injured from a gunman, like
one dude.
it is crazy, y'all. I mean, it's crazy what happened there.
And probably a lot of people heard because it did make national headlines.
It's like one of the deadliest days we've had in our city when it comes to law enforcement, especially, and then even in the country. It's awful. I mean, it's left so many families just ripped apart. It's disgusting.
Well, and it. I mean, we kind of started this conversation talking about what fears are, and I would think that this. If I already was a police officer's wife, I would be worried every single day or night that they go out to patrol.
It's very easy for me to be like, I just don't live in fear as my husband drives to his, office.
Right.
And so I understand that. I was even talking to Lindsay Quinn about this just yesterday because I had shared on my stories about how to, I can't remember what the exact prompt was, but it was basically about like, how to not get so ruffled so easily or something like that. And I shared the slide and it was like, assume the best.
Yes, I remember this. Yes.
Instead of jumping to the absolute worst case scenario, assume the best case scenario.
Yes.
And then also then the next slide said something like, no one wakes up going, how can I ruin your day today?
Yes.
Sometimes I think drivers do. And
some people might.
some kids do. I think, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed and everything's just bad and wrong and you cannot shake it.
Yes.
But and then another one was like, kind of recognize your privilege.
Yes.
In that. And so Lindsay wrote me back and was like, so what you're saying is I should just try to think positively.
Lindsay.
And I said, Linz, I understand she has been through horrific stuff.
Yes, she has.
And so I said, I realize it's very easy for me who has never had a sibling pass after a 17-day search. I understand my privilege in that, that my life experiences kind of haven't been so bad that maybe I do lead with fear about everything.
Sure.
So I get that that's a part of it too. I'm just by nature someone who's like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they probably meant well there. I'm sure that they didn't mean it to come out that way. I do try to assume if I can't get in touch with somebody when I call them, I assume they're on the other line.
Yeah.
They're busy on a ladder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go, they're dead. That's it. They're dead.
Right.
But she does.
She does.
And so I understand that. That could be from a lived experience.
Yeah.
Whereas I've never had the phone call besides, so and so. I mean, I have had it.
You've had
I've had it here and there with friends and family, but it's never been the family stuff has all been age.
Yes. Age-related.
Age-related, or like a spontaneous thing happen, like
Yes.
an aneurysm, nothing that you could have prepared or predicted or anything.
Yeah.
My two friends did die. Billy and Katie died when I was in high school from a drunk driving accident, and that was absolutely terrible, and it shaped a lot of who I am in life. I think a lot of decisions I've made going forward, just with Billy and Katie in mind, and that was terrible. I mean, really, really terrible. But outside of those things, I've been very, very lucky.
Well, it feels like, I mean, you mentioning that, it feels like it could go one of two ways, or maybe a blend of both.
Yeah.
Maybe it manifests in the anxiety and the worry that the shoe's going to drop and like the next bad thing is around the corner. But maybe in your case, did it just show you life is short?
Yeah.
Enjoy it now. Don't spend your time worrying and ruminating and stressing. And so I think for people it can kind of go both ways.
Absolutely.
I think for me, like maybe it's a
What
little bit of both. I heard somewhere long ago that really creative people, now I would say that you're very creative too, but super creative, like artistic people think about death every day. And I can say I do. Every day I think.
What are you thinking about?
Well, I just think, here's how I think about it. I'm like, okay, if I'm driving and I'm listening to music, I'm like, is this the last song I'm going to hear?
What?
Whatever I put on my body, is this the last thing I'm going to wear? Is this it? Today's the day. It's coming. Like, and I'm not doing it in a like
morbid way.
In a morbid, like anxiety fear way. Cause I'm still going 9 over the speed limit in the left lane.
Absolutely.
So I'm not like shaking in fear, but I just every day, at least once a day, it floats through my mind of like, have I had a good day? Like, what am I doing? This really could be it.
I do think I'm on borrowed time. I mean, I definitely thought that I would die younger.
I think so too.
But I'm not thinking like, it's all a gift. Everything that's coming is a gift.
It is. It's
even
a gift.
These javelins in my roof. No, those aren't gifts.
No,
they aren't.
No, they're not.
And I was talking to somebody even yesterday, like, I don't need another lesson in patience, let's say.
No, you don't.
Or another lesson in grit.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
I'm gritty.
You're gritty. You're grateful. You're gritty.
Yeah, I got all that. So I don't know why we're just going to still keep on keeping on with the lessons.
All the lessons.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's because
let's take a break.
You're sharing it here, all of your wisdom with the podcasts, and we are growing through your growing pains.
Yeah, growing, not showing.
Now, my question.
I got to get this fly.
Oh yeah, y'all. There's a fly flying.
No shit. Oh, we let a bullshit slide by.
Oh no.
Is that okay?
Yeah, but which one?
I don't know.
The one from today?
No, like 2 episodes ago.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. I try to catch her,
it was
but
like 4 minutes in. It was a fast cut.
Ooh. Okay, but here's the second part of my fear question.
Just know if you hear clapping, it's because I'm trying to clap this fly. I'm going to kill the fly.
And she's clapping my cheeks. Know that.
Hey. Man, we can turn this pot around in a heartbeat, can't we? Death to clapping those butt cheeks.
Okay, so y'all, here's my second part of the question. And I hope that there is something that you have an answer to this.
Okay.
Because mine are very specific. Okay, so we've covered fear as an adult.
Okay.
Did anything scare you as a kid? Was there any character or show or whatever it is that scared? We talked about the thunder. Were you afraid of storms? Were you afraid of tornadoes? What scared you as a kid?
No, I don't think I was scared of things like that, like nature-based things. I'm trying to think of a character. There were things I just knew I didn't like to see. For example, in The Princess Bride, I know everybody loves that movie. I hate it, okay? I don't like it. Don't say, that's inconceivable. Shut up. I didn't like that rat. There's a big old rat in there, right?
Yes. Oh, wait, or is that?
No, there's some sort of rat.
Yeah,
in the
there is.
Princess Bride.
I think like in the woods, there's some kind of creature.
Yeah, Google that. I don't like that thing.
Okay.
I just knew I didn't like to look at it. And I also didn't like The Sandlot. I did not want to watch that either.
Because of the dog?
I did not like that dog.
Well, I know you didn't like his drool. I know you didn't like
that's it. I did not like that.
That is under arrest.
Electric chair. Electric chair immediately. I do not want to see dog saliva. I don't want to see the drool. That disgusts me.
Oh, yes. You're right. Oh, okay. Anyone who has seen The Princess Bride probably remembers the scene where Wesley and Princess Buttercup have to cross the fire swamp home to the dreaded rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, it was a big old rat, right? It was a big old rat.
Ooh.
I don't like that. I don't
I don't like that either.
I don't like that at all.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's
Look at it.
disgusting. It probably had drool too. Gross.
Y'all, this is sick. It's sick.
I don't want it.
I rebuke this.
I rebuke it.
Ooh.
I also had this weird thing. This is just coming back to me. Wow, this has been a minute.
Okay, let's do it.
I had this weird thing when I would see something an unusual size.
Okay.
Like that just didn't make sense,
Yeah.
right? Like this rat. Like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that big.
No.
Right? That when I would see something like that night I would dream, oh my God, this is coming back to me. I would dream that there would be like an extra large baseball bat.
Oh.
Like a supersized baseball bat, and it would go boom, and it would knock me down and kill me. It would just like squish me, or it'd be a ginormous toe walking, and it would just go boom, and it would just flatten me, boop, like that. Anytime I saw something just way too big, like this is not to scale, I don't like it.
Like an oversized
Yes.
Hershey's Kiss.
Yes, like those ginormous candy bars. And then that night I would dream that this oversized thing would just go
Would squish you.
and squish me to death. Squish me to death.
And this was a recurring dream.
Yes, it was a recurring dream, much like Phil Collins.
Wow. Much
That
like
was a
Phil
happy
Collins.
one. That was a happy one. But this was my oversized nightmare.
Oversized nightmares.
That's the title.
That's definitely the title.
Oversized.
I don't have to think about it. I don't need to hear anything else.
It was so weird. Like,
Wow.
what does that mean? It means, I bet if we tracked it back or if we looked in a dream book or talked to somebody or Allie Bally, it was probably like something felt way too big in my life.
Yes.
Unmanageable, way too big.
Yes.
Supersized. And I couldn't get a handle on it. I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't battle it. And I was going to succumb to it.
Oh my gosh, that's
I bet.
exactly
I guarantee
what it
you
is.
that's what it was.
Okay, well, I was like very fearful
What are you seeing?
of very, very specific characters. Like I'm okay with E.T. now, but as a kid growing up, I would actually have like almost hallucinations of so I would go to bed at night and my parents would leave my door cracked. Okay,
Okay.
so let's say maybe it's a foot open.
Okay.
So I'd get in my bed. Okay, I'm in my vampire
Yeah, your
position.
coffin.
I'm in my coffin.
Mm-hmm.
But the light is still coming in from the hallway, from the den. So it's dark in my room, but there's light.
There's a little bit
and
of light.
I would hallucinate, because I was still awake, that here comes E.T. waddling up. And so I'm just seeing his silhouette.
On the bike?
No, he's waddling up, just naked.
Oh.
Did you get the fly?
No.
And he's coming just into the door where I can just see his silhouette looking into my room.
No, thank you.
That I don't like.
I don't like that.
And I can still see it in my mind. And again, this wasn't a nightmare.
I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
There's too much fantasy. I don't like fantasy, okay? I don't like all the pretend stuff.
yeah.
Now, I'm very into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Like,
you are.
That's enough. That's manageable for me because it's so funny. There's so
Yeah,
much
it
humor.
is so
There's
funny.
so much humor.
And there's like pop culture references, which
yes,
you
but
like.
I do not, like, as a kid, anything
You weren't
fantasy.
into Never Ending Story.
Oh, I hate that movie.
All of that stuff.
I hate it. And I will say hate about it. I do not get it. That's the one with the big flying dog?
Yes.
Another dog. Another dog.
What about The Labyrinth
I've never seen that.
with David Bowie?
No, I've never seen that.
All of those kind of fall in the same category for me.
It's absolutely not and no's. I also, the Goonies.
The Goonies. He's gross.
So annoying. And that guy is so
that
disgusting.
guy's disgusting. I know a lot of people have like, I think, sweet feelings about him.
It's nostalgia.
It's-
It's just nostalgia. If
it's
you
gross.
tried to watch that movie as an adult because you have no nostalgia as it from a kid,
Yeah.
you would also be like, this is so dumb and that guy is so disgusting. Wasn't he was drooling too. There was weird teeth on him too. All of these have the same. The rat has screwed up teeth. The Sandlot dog, this sloth guy. I don't want it. I'm not even a teeth shamer. I've never had braces. I don't get to be high and
but
mighty.
you don't like the janky teeth plus the drool.
Ugh. God, it's so
gross. You don't like slobber. You don't like saliva. You never have. It's
No.
one of the first things I think I knew about you.
I don't like it at all.
Is that you
My-
don't want that.
My front tooth was broken because somebody stuck their tongue
Ugh.
in my ear. He stuck his tongue in my ear.
That's disgusting.
Well, I was holding a beer bottle and I snapped my face away from him and it broke my tooth and I'm still dealing with it to this day.
She is still dealing.
I'm still dealing. I'm still dealing
That's
with
the
that.
mouth bones. Okay. So another weird character for me, or characters I should say. Okay, y'all, I don't know who's into this, but from The Wizard of Oz, the lollipop munchkins, when they
represent
don't
the
even sing it.
lollipop guild.
Electric chair.
The lollipop guild. The lollipop
Oh,
guild.
it's so
Right? They're like this.
I have the chills.
Okay.
What I'm saying is they're dressing up these folks.
Yeah. Little people.
Not all of them are little people.
Oh. Okay.
In the Munchkins were not all little people.
Okay. I don't.
I'm saying, like, watch it.
Okay.
You will see that they had, whether it's children, little people, or something in between.
Okay.
They made it terrifying. And I actually think you're making it harder for people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think about those lollipop creeps and it makes me want to die. It ruined Wizard of Oz for me, honestly. And there's several things in there that I could
let go. I don't need the Wizard of Oz.
I don't need it either.
I don't need it at all. What we do need is Wicked.
We do need Wicked.
Well,
that's true. I guess we do need Wicked, so we do need Wizard of Oz.
But for us, the ends are barely justifying the means. Because we do love Wicked, but we don't F with the Wizard of Oz.
Just some things back in the day.
Yeah, they just were so bizarre.
Were so bizarre and so creepy. Under that same vein, another thing that was weird to me is Mr. Rogers. I liked Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
But he'd get on that train. We'd get on the train. We'd go in the tunnel and we would come out into this fantasy land full of puppets, okay? I don't mind a puppet. I'm not afraid of a puppet. You know who I don't like? Lady Elaine. I don't like her.
I don't know.
So we've got the king. We've got the different people. Here she comes with
what
her.
What are we talking about? Mr. Rogers had a tunnel.
There was a tunnel
in a fantasy land,
and you'd go in the tunnel, and you'd come out, and there would be a castle with the king. I think there was an owl in a tree, and they're all puppets. Okay, and are these beloved characters? Maybe for some, but I'll tell you what, not for me.
Not for me. I don't even remember this. I didn't know Mr. Rogers had any of this. I thought the only thing he did was put on his shoes and a cardigan. I don't remember anything else about Mr. Rogers.
No, just know that there's a tunnel full of wicked puppets, and
I did not know
was troubling to me. The way that the paint job was done on the puppets, the paint is chipping off.
Okay.
There's too much rouge. There's too much rouge on all of them. It's just weird to me. And in their heads, they're thinking the kids are going to love this.
Yes, they're going to be so animated.
No. Take it
Electric
back.
chair.
Electric chair again.
Okay, I'm going to have to look it up. I would have never told you. I don't know if someone said, what was Mr. Rogers about? I think I would have said, I know he puts on a cardigan and shoes and he reads people books.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Does he do that?
He does
he read people books?
But he goes into a tunnel where this woman's waiting for you.
I have seen this woman, but I had no clue she was with Mr. Rogers.
Lady Elaine Fairchild, I think is her last name. Here she is. Look at that nose. Sick.
I would have never. I had no clue. And I had no clue.
Yeah, maybe you blocked it out.
Probably. I mean, I think that I've blocked out probably lots of stuff.
Tell me why an adult thought that this was a good idea.
It looks like blood on her cheeks. She looks like the sad clown.
Yeah, she looks.
Actually, it's
giving the sad clown.
Yeah. All things come back to that.
It's a bloody, bludgeoned
this
nose.
Looks insane.
Yeah. And they thought children will love it.
Love this.
Well, it's like you've seen the memes around Easter time. You all have seen this, where this goes around every year, where people pull old photos of the Easter Bunny.
Oh, yes.
It's horrifying.
And they're like, kids will love this. They'll want to go sit on their laps for sure.
Even old like Halloween pictures. People dressed up for Halloween from the 1920s. My God.
The things... Even in the 80s, some of those masks were still looking insane. Like the plastic mask we were wearing with the little elastic strip behind you.
Yes. The elastic lasted what? All of 10 minutes.
Those things were crazy looking. Just the shine alone.
Just the sheen. The eye placement and you're trying to breathe through two little holes for the nose.
And it hurts.
The flaps are cutting into the skin.
It's digging in.
Yes.
It is digging. People probably still have scars right here on their faces. So don't judge people. If you see some weird scars, they were born in the 80s, I want you to just back up, okay? Because they probably are dealing with some scars. from those masks. It's serious. Add them to your prayer list. That's a big deal.
80s Halloween mask plastic scars.
I guarantee you somebody's got it. And if you do, please send us a picture for receipts because I would love to post it.
Please send it. There's at least a dozen American children that have this problem.
They're probably filing a class action lawsuit.
Yes.
As we speak.
As we speak. And we support it.
Have you been permanently disfigured from an 80s plastic mask on a Halloween night?
From a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask.
100%. Then you can call 1-800 get funds from your class action lawsuit.
Not the get fun. You know that's real. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm happy to know that you did have a childhood fear at least.
There was.
You're not a fearful person, and I do like that about you.
I'm not a fearful person. I can say that pretty confidently.
Yes.
That I do not think, I just don't think about it. I don't think about it. It could just be that I don't have the time to think about it or the will. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think about it. There are little bits of anxieties that I can let creep in here and there.
Yeah.
Little bits. But I used to have kind of a little bit of, I love to fly, but there was like this, oh my gosh, we're about to leave wherever we are and it's all the fun's over and I'll never have a trip again. Like I would get a little bit of that. And then I realized, Miranda, that is so foolish. You are robbing yourself of joy.
Yeah.
If midway through the vacation, I was like, it's halfway over. Now it's just all downhill from here.
I know.
Like, that's so pathetic. It's so pathetic. So I got over that. I was like, you are not going to do that. And I do think there's a part of that you just have to buck up. Yes. I know that's easier said than done. Again, I get my privilege and my lived experiences and all that sort of stuff. But you do have to say, like, what am I trading in for this fear and this worry and this anxiety? What is it robbing me from that I am currently in? People dread things in the future so much. And I'm just like, it may never even come.
Well, that
may never even happen.
There's some quote about that where it's like, you spent so many days worrying about something. How many days did you waste? And that thing never actually happened.
It never
came to be.
No, it never did. I'm not going to be somebody who's wasting away these like precious life moments. You're right. We could all be gone tomorrow. And why am I going to spend that quote? It will never leave my brain from someone saying, imagine all the women who turned down cake on the Titanic. Imagine all the women who turned it down. One, because of diet.
Because we have to be thin.
God forbid. But also just kind of like you can extrapolate that into just life. You know, what are we saying no to in some fear, in some worry, in some what could be
future thing.
And then it never came because you didn't even have that future. I mean, it was not there. So I don't know, somewhere along the way, perspective has always been like really big on the list for me. Like, okay, let's think about the perspective here. Let's weigh it all. And it's just not in my nature. It's not in my nature at all. And I understand that. If I could take away that from people, it'd probably be one of the number one things that I would take away from them is this like existential dread and fear and anxiety and everything. We have to live our lives. We have to live our lives exactly how they are today.
Full, in the moment.
Full on, 100%.
And I definitely am on board with that. I really am someone that tries to live in the present.
Yes.
I don't think too much about the past or the future. I think you're the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I could be, obviously, with Bella going to college. There's so many people asking, you know, how are you doing with Bella going to college? Bella's about to go to college. Bella's about to go to college.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so sad. We love her at home. She's such a delight to be there. Like, of course, do I want her there? But ultimately, I want her to live her own life. I want her to go and see what college is like. I loved my college experience. So I'm so excited for her to have all of that and just to figure it out.
And you know that the sad day is coming.
Oh, yes.
So why live the sad day now?
Right.
When you know you're going to have to do it in August.
Exactly. I only have so many more days with her. I mean, she has 4 more weeks of high school left.
Yep.
Then she graduates. Then we have trips here and there.
Yep.
And then before we know it, we're going to be moving her in. So I'm not going to be sitting here pitiful, pouty, party me. On my few days that I have left with her here. So that sad day is coming. Of course, there will be the excitement of moving her in and setting up her room. And then we're going to have to freaking drive away. And it will be absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
The thing that I get to know is that we bought tickets to that first football game, and we'll be back in like 9 days.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that was so smart for you to do that.
Smart. Josh was like, we're buying tickets immediately the second they release the schedule, and we're going to go to the first NC State game. And I was like,
okay, I want to know the date of that, because even if we can't get tickets to it, I would love if we could even like tailgate.
We're coming. So we have a camping spot.
Yes.
We already got the spot as soon as it came up 180 days out. I got the spot right across from the stadium. There's like a NC State Fairgrounds.
Okay, I would really love to do that.
So if there's still a spot left, just come up. But the tickets for the game are that weekend right before Labor Day.
Okay.
It's like 27th, 28th, somewhere. Okay. It got moved to a Thursday night. It was supposed to be a Saturday game, got moved to Thursday night. So it's right at the end of August. So I think we move her in 17th to 19th.
Okay.
And then we'll be back for the game literally 9 days later.
That's so smart.
So I already kind of get to look forward to that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, Thanksgiving will be there. Christmas will be there. There'll be a month home. I'm just looking at it as she's 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
She's 2.5 hours away. I am her mother. Our bond is so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm good.
So tight.
She's going to be good.
Y'all are going to be talking all the time. You already talk all the time now.
My kids never stop talking to me. So I don't expect it to just stop then. And even if it does, like, even if she's not calling as much or needing as much, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing because it means that she's out there thriving.
Yeah. Exactly. She's
and that is ultimately what you want as a mom.
Exactly. So it's kind of like all good things.
All good
things, but making her video for her graduation party is going to wreck me.
Yes, it absolutely is going to.
Because looking back on just your kids being little, it's hard in general when those memories pop up on Facebook or Instagram.
It is.
It's just hard because
it rips my heart out.
You're like, oh my gosh, was I enjoying those years enough? Was I enjoying those days enough? Was I putting in enough? And ultimately it's like, you just have to say yes.
Yes.
Because you don't want to say no, and you can't go back and redo it anyway.
Yeah.
So you're just like, yeah.
I did my best with
what
I had.
That's right.
With the time I had,
That's
with
right.
the mental capacity, the patience, whatever I was equipped with at the time, I did my best.
With the bakery I was running,
That's
with having 2 back-to-back.
Yes.
I mean, like,
yes.
There are so many things that we could look back on and woulda, shoulda, coulda, and did we. But we did a great job with what we had.
I've heard people say is like, if you are a mom,
asking yourself,
did I do enough? Then you probably did.
Yes.
Because you care enough to even think about it.
To be introspective, looking back 12 years later, like, we're good.
Yes.
What are you going to do anyway?
I did it. I did enough. I may not be able to remember every single day and every single second.
I don't.
Yeah, we know you don't.
I don't.
But that's why we do love our pictures and videos.
That's right.
To remind us of
And that's why we're doing this too, doing this podcast now.
Yes.
It's like, it will live forever. It'll be times we can listen back and be like, oh my gosh, the fact that we were talking about that then, or that was important then, or that's what we were mad about then. Oh gosh, like now even listening back to some of the earlier stuff, I'm like, I probably didn't need to rant about that as hard. I came for that harder than maybe I needed to.
But every day is different. Yeah. Today we're going to rant about being a homeowner. Okay? It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
And now we have so much content that they can make holograms of us. If we do perish, they can bring us back to life, so to speak.
And AI can just dub over all of our voices, all of our sayings.
Now, I do feel it's been a heavier episode, and I think that it was needed in some ways. So
we never came back to your ACOTAR, though.
Oh, we didn't? Should we save that for Thursday?
Yeah, let's save it for Thursday.
But y'all, I've been meaning to do our Cats Against Anxiety cards.
Oh, speaking of.
And this is the perfect episode.
Perfect.
To read one of these.
Perfect episode.
Okay, wait. Are these 2 different things? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. This one says, immerse yourself.
Okay.
For 1 minute, focus on a simple action. Mm-hmm. Train your brain to let everything else pass you by. Mm-hmm. Feel your anxiety melt away as you immerse yourself in your senses. I like that.
So what they say when you're feeling super anxious and you're having like an episode of everything feels so heavy, I cannot see out of this, then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stop and survey your surroundings and see immediate facts. Okay? Immediate facts. So it's like, okay, the leaves are green.
Yes.
The lights are bright. I've counted 3 cars driving by, and they were gray, red, and white. And if you start hyper-focusing on these details of things that are absolute facts,
Reality around you.
the reality around you, then the made-up things in your head, the scenarios that you are spiraling out of control, will start to quiet because it's switching your brain from thinking about the woulda, shoulda, couldas, the what ifs, to the this is absolutely factually true, and I know this to be.
I love this.
So, and then you can also do stuff like with your hands, like tap your pinky fingers together, then your middles, then your rings, then your, yep. So
That
go
feels
like,
good. I like that.
thumb, pointer, middle, ring, pinky, thumb, pointer, middle, ring.
I mean, I guess I've kind of been doing this with my Jack's tabs.
Yep. It's similar, but
Similar.
this is just, you have to focus
have to
so
focus.
much on doing that.
Yeah, that's true. This takes a little more
You
focus.
really have to focus on doing this, like with your fingers and meeting them back up, that your brain it has to pay attention to this. So it stops again, the cycle, that loopy loop going on in your head. So do
I
that.
like this.
Take your skin, be like, okay, I can feel my skin. I am still alive. My body is still here.
You're like, I am hairless.
yeah,
I can-
I am smooth, and I don't use lotion either. I'm just a smooth, silky girly.
Yes.
By nature. But and then of course, if you can, just go stand in some damn grass.
yes, go touch grass.
Go touch some
Although
grass.
that's an insult people are using now.
It is an insult people are using.
It's dumb.
It comes from a place of, this is scientifically proven that if people can touch grass, it's the grounding of nature,
Yes.
right? It's our bodies connecting with nature. If you will stand there, bare feet in grass,
Yes.
there is a physical, biological thing that happens to our bodies. So they really mean it. Like, please go touch grass.
Yes.
But
They're like, get off the internet, go outside and touch some grass.
go, just put your phone down. Put your phone down. You shouldn't be this mad at someone you've never met
Yes.
in a comment section.
Yes.
What are you doing? What are
Well,
you proving?
we all have to agree that so much of our life's anxieties is coming from the technology
100%,
of it. Yeah.
100%. So all the more reason why, if people can admit that very freely, why are you handing it to your 5th grader and then expecting them to not have any? Like, they're going to be the exception.
That's it.
They're going to be the exception. They're in 5th grade, but it won't bother them. They're too young for it to bother them. No, that's not how it works. It's actually now giving them those things early and earlier than they ever should have been exposed to, and their brain literally can't handle it. Literally can't handle it.
Don't do it, folks. We've told you over and over.
Can't say it enough. I can't.
All right, you
And I
guys.
shan't and I went.
And I went.
Coming back.
We will, on Thursday's episode, talk to you all about my ACOTAR journey.
Okay, I can't wait.
Because I'm moving through quick. Know that. Know that. So you better hurry up so we can discuss this.
Okay, I will. I'm going to start it. Let's see. Tonight's not going to be the night, but maybe tomorrow night. Or maybe I'll read some before bed tonight.
Yeah.
And maybe Friday Junior.
Man,
We'll see.
reading before bed.
Mm-hmm.
What a life hack that is.
It's as if putting down the bright, shiny screened object that's causing so much anxiety, fear, and worry, putting that down right before bed might make you sleep better. See, my thing is if my phone is in my hand right before bed, I am doing a crossword.
Yes,
I am
same.
doing something.
We're doing
Trying,
puzzles.
I am trying not to scroll.
Yeah, we don't doom scroll.
I'm not doom scrolling, but I am trying to do it. But putting it down and just picking up a book is a better option, period, than that.
Point blank period.
We know that.
And that's what I've been doing.
I can't wait to hear.
So, to be continued, hoes.